What's that spooky sound? A Halloween trick-or-treat thriller.
Written and narrated by Jim Horseman. Illustrated by Ohiniwa Ano.
Though years have long passed, my memory is clear. What started as fun soon turned to fear. I'm just glad I survived that blustery night to tell you my tale of Halloween fright. The wind was howling and strangling the leaves. The old oaks moaned with each rush of the breeze. The moon, for a moment, pierced through the haze and danced through the branches and their endless, eerie maze. For a Halloween night, this one was a chiller, but nothing could stop our trick-or-treat thriller. For this fright night delight, you've got to look dandy. The cooler you look, the more comes the candy. Duke was a pirate and Lucy a witch, and I, as a dragon, had a tail with a twitch. Out we scurried to haunt the best places, to rake in the loot and feed our fat faces. The Johnsons and Porters and even the Thorpes were frightened by us like they'd just seen a corpse. The Fingelbong family was a new one in town, but funny thing is, no one's seen them around. Their house was a mansion with an old wooden porch, and in the dense weeds stood a sputtering torch, which swayed in the wind and threw sparks with great wrath. And the shadows it cast made the house dance and laugh. In the spirit of fear or adventuresome fright, we crept to the entrance to gaze at the sight of a tattered old room with cobwebs and dust, and a staircase of wood covered with must. We gathered our wits and slid through the door, with creaks and moans coming up from the floor. A rage of the gale blocked the door with a plank and trapped us inside with the stench and the rain. What do you do when you're walled in a nook that's haunted by every spook in the book? We dashed for the window to dive through the glass, hoping to land in the tall, swaying grass. But something was strange, for the windows were thick. They weren't really windows, but walls made of brick. Well, that was enough to start us to shake and scream and make all the noise we could make. Our cries were drowned out, and all we could hear was an ominous gurgling that incited our fear. The rumbling grew in intensity and pitch, and we crawled to the darkest corner from which we could see any beast that might care to sneak out from the depths of the darkness to peek. Time dragged slowly by the clock on the wall. Minutes seemed like hours while the gurgling called. Not a sound could be heard except for the call of that wretched gurgling from the room down the hall. The source of the sound seemed to come from the back of a room whose doorway showed nothing but black. Every eye fixed on the door to that place to detect any movement that would increase our heart pace. Amidst our confusion, footsteps were heard to be boldly approaching this house with a curse. A thunderous crash sent the imprisoning plank bounding inside to land with a clank. Dust filled the air as he roared down the hall and entered that ominous door in the wall. We three got the thought of escaping the doom of that dreadful soul who entered that room. Expecting the mansion to resound with a scream, we scrambled outside to view the whole scene. All we could hear was the flush of a John, and the gurgling ceased and was mercifully gone. The look on our faces could not be described as he rolled the brick-patterned curtains aside. He peered out the window, and from the light of the torch, we could see he was laughing as he walked to the porch. He yelled something out about a new trick-or-treat. And the night being late, we were forced to retreat to the safety of the fires in our homes that late night. Oh, that candleless, horrible Halloween fright. The lesson we learned is one that rings true. Beware who you trick, or they just might